This conference will now be recorded.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Once again, I stated I am the SGA president for Texas A&M Central Texas. This will be our first SGA meeting, which is very exciting. It took us a while to get here, but of course it's due to the pandemic. So I'm excited to have everyone here, excited to start our new journey. So let's get started.
So today's agenda, call to order, like Daviana was starting, the introductions. She is the student body president. I am Amanda Daniels, the student body vice president. We have John Barber. I hope he is here. And then Brenda Lee, which is a senator. And then we're going to talk about old business, new business, swear-ins of any new senators who put in applications, which I don't think anyone has. And then we're going to go over the student organizations, the updated, student organizations, which will be presented by Garrett. We'll go over the Constitution and bylaws, the changes that we've made, and then call to adjourn.
Okay, old business, of course. We definitely need to appoint a treasurer. As of this moment, the SGA is pretty much starting from scratch, but if there's anyone that is interested in becoming the treasurer for Student Government Association, if you can, write your email down in the chat, or get with Amanda and myself offline so that we can go ahead and tell you what the process is going to be and how you can apply to be a part of that position. We are looking for someone today, so if you're interested, please reach out. The first official budget report, will be given after we go ahead and fill this position, but anyone that is interested, I highly, highly, highly suggest you guys please reach out to us. We are in need. So if you're good with money, this is a place for you. Next slide. All right, new business. Of course, the oath of office. I know a few students approached me about becoming senators. If there are any students in here that would love to become a senator, once again, reach out to myself or Amanda so that we can get the paperwork together and you can submit that so we can actually have senators. We'll have to do a whole ceremony and you will have to get the oath of office read, so on and so forth. So that's why we need your application. And then from there, we will check the criteria and what's required. And then we will approve or disapprove whatever senator applies.
And Daviana, I know where the oath of office is, so I can make sure to get that to you.
Okay, thank you. So the Constitution and bylaws. So the Constitution and bylaws has been something we've been working on the whole summer. Okay, it turned out great. We have a few, if you want to take your time just to read over the slide, but we have a few new things that we have implemented in the bylaws. We took a few things out. We're not going to release the new bylaws yet until, we have our senators go ahead and vote in what's changed so that we can have that tangible for students to access and see what SGA is about. But I am actually very excited for the new rules we implemented, what's new on the bylaws, and it's just a lot. The bylaws are a lot more understanding per se. Before it was a little bit hectic. It was made for a bigger school. Of course, we're a smaller institution, but we've done a great job. So yes, we are looking for senators to help approve these bylaws. Once again, like I said, just go ahead and email Amanda or myself, and we'll go ahead and deal with the process. But as you guys read, these are some of the summary changes that we've had for the bylaws. So yes, does anybody have any questions?
if you want to kind of give like a brief rundown, just even though I think we can all see the bullet points, I know on some screens are a little smaller, so maybe just a quick rundown of what those changes are.
Okay, some of the changes that we have made is like the senator positions, the voting representatives. I know that before we had, since it's still a short notice and with the pandemic, you had to attend 2 consecutive meetings and then apply for a senator and then be voted in. So we have changed a few of those perspectives because we are now changing our dynamic to fit the pandemic, of course. Most of our meetings will be through Zoom, and I'm probably gonna get with Garrett. Maybe we can have like one on post, like once a month, probably. We discussed like the summer
But
campus life up.
not post.
No, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
We
I'm
won't
so
drive all the way out of
campus. I apologize, guys. I'm in the military, so it's our jargon. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, but
No problem. Go to
overall,
meeting, one on campus.
yes, on campus. We'll start having like smaller meetings probably once a month on campus. Uh, Anything you guys need from the SGA, please, please, please feel free to reach out to Amanda and myself. We are very approachable. We're here to help the students 9 times out of 10. And we want you guys to feel comfortable when coming to the SGA, enrolling in the SGA, seeing what the SGA is about. I know last year we had some difficulties, but this year we want to work at least as a family. So yes. Any questions? Okay, next slide.
Oh, not yet.
It's not, the meeting isn't adjourned yet. We're gonna pull up another slide deck for Garrett Smith to go over. He is a part of student affairs. So I know a lot of the orgs that are here have been asking questions about what's going on, being that we have this pandemic and what are the rules and what has changed. So this is your opportunity to take notes, and Garrett will go over all the details. Garrett?
Go ahead and make me a presenter. What I'll do is I'll share my screen and kind of give you all the updated version.
Okay.
I made you presented.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Carla, you got this if you want
No, go ahead.
to. All right, if I'm a presenter here, let me share my screen. Well, there we go.
You got it?
I think so. There we go. It's showing my desktop instead of, okay, can y'all see my student orgs presentation now? This is the first time I've used GoToMeeting with two monitors going on at the same time, so this is kind of a whole new level. But as Daviana said, I'm Garrett Smith. For those of you I have not met yet, Assistant Director of Student Civic Engagement. So when we did this last year, you know, we were all in one room, and yeah, there were some new things to go over, but I kind of thought, oh, well, after a year under my belt, everything will be normal and we'll have a routine. And then I kind of forgot to factor in a global pandemic. So here we are again, learning new things together, but hopefully this will be good information that you can kind of use to help your organization succeed this semester. This is just kind of a rundown of the things we're going to go over. We have obviously our welcoming you back to campus or online, whichever you are joining us from. Some help with Engage, because we're going to be using that as a more central program this year. COVID-19 training, just an update from Student Affairs, bank account procedures, risk management, the involvement requirements this year and what that'll look like with COVID, campus cupboard, and SGA. So jumping right into it, as Daviana mentioned, it has been a very difficult year so far, very difficult summer, but you know, not to sound cheesy or playing off our warrior name, but I know that one of the themes that this school likes to go off on is being a fighter through difficult times. And so that is something that we're all going to be able to do. What we want to do is to make that as little difficulty as possible for everyone as students. So given that this is the Office of Student Affairs, and Division of Student Affairs, and the Office of Student and Civic Engagement, we want to make sure that we are a resource anytime you need us, whether it's SGA or student and civic engagement. So some of you have reached out with questions on what this year will look like, and we've responded as quickly as we can. We've got a lot of irons in the fire, but hopefully we can continue the momentum of being able to help you. So with COVID-19 testing, I won't read this whole slide off. I will make this information available on Engage this coming week, but we do have testing available on campus in limited supply. We just ask that you make an appointment in advance with Student Affairs and make sure that only try to make an appointment if you are experiencing symptoms. So it's not just for everyone to kind of come through and say, hey, I wonder if I have COVID or not. It's if you think you might, or if you've been exposed to somebody with COVID, we can provide the test kits for you in a drive-through format. If you need, you can gather these links here. If you lose sight of this presentation, or if you want to take a screenshot, great. But like I said, I'll have this posted later. If not, you can always reach out to Student Affairs or to me at my office, and we'll be glad to get you the information. And as this continues, whether it's they run low on tests or the format changes, we'll be sure to keep all the students posted. That information will likely come from Brandon Griggs, the Dean of Student Affairs. So for Engage, this one's going to be kind of the monster question for this presentation, because I've had a lot of people reach out this past week to 2 weeks asking, where do I go to do this, where do I go to do that? Engage can be a great program, but admittedly, it is very tricky if you don't quite know how to navigate it. And so the first thing we want everyone to do for this semester, just to know which orgs are active and which ones are not, you'll see on Steps for Fall, we just need every organization to update your advisor, primary contact, and officers on your Engage page. And what I will do is, in a moment, I will take you through a step-by-step to kind of show you how that's going to work. Once you confirm these changes within your organization, if you could just give me a courtesy heads up at my email address, what I will do is I will send you an online meeting room link from GoToMeeting like we have here. And what that'll do is, for this semester, if you're not able to meet on campus, we will still have a place for you. And what this will also enable us to do is for me to come check in and say, hey, how are y'all doing? Do you need anything? And then I will log out of your meeting and let y'all go to it. One thing I wanted to do last year and didn't quite have the time was to physically check in on your meetings, pop in. I know with different times and different schedules, it was kind of hard for Paul and I to be able to do that. And then we brought Carla in, and I thought, okay, there's 3 of us now, we'll definitely be able to do that. And we were still too busy to really pop into every meeting. So we want you, again, to know that if there's anything you need, we want to be accessible at all times. I think that this virtual meeting room will help us do that together. One of the other changes that we're going to have is to avoid any confusion with P cards and purchasing and budgets. Every organization's treasurer will be the organization's designated purchasing rep. And what that means is, once you have your treasurer picked out, your president and your treasurer will get a purchasing training, so to speak, from Kaneda and Jamie and me from Student Affairs, and you can use that information to know how to make purchases through Aggie Buy, how to get a P card if you really need it. Thankfully, we won't need P cards as much this semester because, as many of you will remember, the system at the last minute decided, yes, you can have off-campus bank accounts, and that is your money to do as you choose with. So, taking you through Engage, when you go to the home page, you want to find your organization. Let's say you want to join an organization, or let's say you're trying to update the roster for your organization that you are in charge of. The organization's link is right there towards the top, right next to the warrior helmet on the left. And when you click that, it brings you to a list of organizations. I'm just using SGA as the example here. You can scroll down, click on the one that's the organization that you're trying to manage, and over at the right-hand corner, you'll see the Manage Organization button. Now, if you don't see that button, it might mean that you haven't been made an officer in your organization yet. I can do that for you. So if you let me know, hey, I'm the secretary or the treasurer or the president of this organization this semester, but I don't have the manage option, all you'll need to do is just let me know, and I can make sure to grant you that access. So once you do go to the Manage Organization button, it will take you to this screen, and this is where we lose a lot of folks because it's real easy at a glance to not see an editing option and not where to go. I'll be honest, it took me a second the first time I ever accessed this. So you'll see those 3 lines right next to the organization name. That is where you'll go to pull up this menu. And so you'll see roster, about, events, gallery. This is where you go to submit different things. News would be an update about your organization. If you want to submit an event, that's where you go to see your calendar. The event submission process is another one that I'm going to send out an additional tutorial on, because it's a tricky one. And to be 100% honest, that was the update I was putting in here as my computer shut out at 10:15 today. So I'm sorry, 9:15. So if you go to roster under the organization tools, there are several different buttons, and this can look a little bit overwhelming, but it's actually pretty simple. Your primary contact, you can have one, and that will usually be your advisor or your president. And you can go up to the little edit button right there by your primary contact, and you can change that out. Underneath, you'll see the membership button. So let's say you want to start fresh. Your organization has a lot of names of people who have graduated, moved on, you haven't heard from them, and you want to make sure that you have an accurate roster. You can click the End All Memberships button to restart your roster, but once you do that, you'll need to add your members back in who are current. Over to the right, if you just want to take your current members and update their officer positions, you can do that. So let's say we want to fire Amanda, which, God bless, I do not want to do that. You would go over here, you would click the edit button, and you would choose who you want your vice president to be or what you want this member's title to be. And then up here at the top right, manage positions, you can manage multiple positions at the same time. So there's two different ways you can see that you can update your officer list, and either one would work. So for purchasing and budgets, I mentioned that your president and treasurer will need to get with us on purchasing. What we will do is go over how to pick up and return and use a P card, which, given the restriction with on-campus access and the limited events on campus, this will probably be something that we try to not make the first option. However, if that's something that you really need for your org, we are still happy to assist. We will help you maintain your organization's budgets. I will be able to monitor that for you. We are actually working on our budgeting for this next year already. I know last year there was kind of a delay from the system to give our department a budget, give student government their budget, give all of you a budget. So last year was a little bit of an estimation game, whereas this year we have a little bit more to work with in terms of what our expectations are. So we'll be able to be a better resource to you on that. For funding requests and Engage, this one is a little more familiar with folks, because if you go to the front page of Engage, you'll be able to go to submit forms. And one of the first ones you'll see is the funding request. And student government will still work with the purchases that are over the allotted amounts. If you need to pick up a bank statement for your off-campus bank accounts, those come to my office. And so you can just arrange a time, usually on Fridays, and I can have those provided to you. Risk management, we won't make you physically attend a training. However, we are going to provide information over the next couple of weeks. I'll be gathering from Sean Kelly to make sure that every org has up-to-date COVID restriction related training. Normally we would have that for you now as just a run-of-the-mill risk management, or Sean Kelly would come in and present to you like he did last year, which went really well. The reason we're not doing it quite the same way this semester is because of COVID. Things change weekly. So what we will do is have probably a more basic version of acknowledgement that you have read a statement and read the safety requirements for your orgs this semester. And for meetings and events, I know we've had several folks ask about this. You can meet on campus if you have fewer than 10 people. I know for most organizations, by default, you will have 10 or more people. So the meeting links online will be the easier option. However, if you do want to have an event on campus, for example, Phi Alpha is doing a collection drive for Corona good donation bags. For something like that, where you have a donation box in the lobby, you don't have a lot of people gathered around, it's just something that's ongoing, that's easy to approve. However, if it's a meeting or some sort of ceremony where you'll have 9, 10 people or fewer, that is something that I will have to gather and engage once you submit the event, and then I will fill out a form and send it to the president's office, and it will go all the way up to the top for approval. So there's a whole approval process now that goes up a chain that's higher than our office, and so it may take a little bit of time. However, if it's something that absolutely has to be on campus and it meets the requirement of population, we can help you make that happen. And the requirements. So drum roll, big finale, thing that everyone's been waiting for, point system. It's not happening this semester. set off your fireworks. Instead, we are going to have a minimum requirement for active organizations, which you've already seen. It's just to make sure everything's up to date. This semester will be primarily just a check-in system to make sure you're active, make sure if there's anything you need for your orgs that we can help you out. In the spring, hopefully, some restrictions will have been lifted on COVID and we can have a little bit more of a structured system again. However, I don't see point system being a part of that. That was largely in part to be able to ensure that basic minimums were being met, and it helped us to kind of build relationships with orgs to where we can monitor that without having to do the points requirement. The requirements below, as you'll see, maintain your officer contact and engage, have your treasurer and your presidents meet with us for the budgeting information and complete the risk management. Sending one representative to each SGA assembly. As Daviana mentioned, the bylaws are going to create a voting position for each org this year. So your organizations will actually get to play a part in what SGA is doing, and we'll be a representative body for everyone once the Senate votes on the new bylaws. And just make sure you're holding regular meetings and let us know how those are going so that we can kind of keep metrics on how many people you've got and if you're able to meet, what we can do for you and things of that nature. As I mentioned, a point system, we do highly encourage you to document everything that you are doing, because if you do that, we can submit it to the committees who decide on the Distinguished Student Leadership and Service Awards. This past year, the points were used to influence that decision. However, they were not the overall decision maker. I was not actually on that committee, so I don't know the weight that was placed on that, but just to make it easier on our orgs, keep track as you go and you won't have to focus so much on the points. Campus cupboard, we are still operating the cupboard. It operates every other Friday. Our Blue Coats and volunteers have done a great job of maintaining that this summer, and kudos to them for that. And Carla with all of new student programming. The cupboard will operate every other Friday, 11 to 3:30 as usual. There's a link that goes out every week that we have the cupboard open, and you can fill that out in a Qualtrics form if you need to use the cupboard. And you can reserve food through that survey, and we can still take small donations. However, with volunteer opportunities, we're not really inviting volunteers in because there's very limited space. We can't really have people congregate in the cupboard. So right now that is pretty restricted. Again, hopefully in the spring we'll have reached a point where we can do that because now we actually have a system that we've been able to bring volunteers in, and it took us the better part of last year to really build a system like that. So I'm grateful that we have the system. Unfortunately, we can't use it to the fullest, but we do encourage donations still. SGA, Daviana has kind of covered this already. We will have online meetings. It will not be as confused as this morning because we will make sure our computers don't shut down. And we are working to make a more inclusive environment. I know that you've probably seen the updates from Student Affairs this summer about pertaining to things that are going on in our country and even in our entire world right now, and just how we need to be one of the leaders in being in an inclusive environment. Because if a college education is to train you to be an active citizen in your community, we want you to lead our community in a way that's inclusive. So one thing that we're doing is we're voting to create a new structure in which your organization will be granted a voice in SGA from the voting side of things. And we're going to be creating a diversity committee that incorporates all the voices of underrepresented students. And we also want to build up our Senate, make sure that anyone who wants to have more of a voice for our student body will apply. And so you can contact me or Daviana and Amanda. I mentioned the diversity committee. We're going to create that committee to kind of just serve to put on events or messaging campaigns, anything where a student might feel underrepresented on our campus. We want to make sure that there is a voice they can go to. We've always said that student and civic engagement is a voice for that, but we want to just create more associations that students feel like they're plugged in and accepted and able to really voice these concerns. So that is all I've got, and I'm going to defer back over to Amanda and Daviana.
Okay, guys, do we have any questions? Any comments, concerns? I see a few new faces in here. You guys want to introduce yourselves? Yes, no, maybe.
My name's Ebony Jones. I'm with CEO in the business school. I attended a few meetings from last year, so I guess things are really changing. So it's kind of nice to see how everything changes. Hi, Garrett. Good to see you again.
You too.
Other than that,
I do have a question, Garrett.
Oh, real quick, y'all. I didn't realize she was here. I hate to cut in, but before we'll jump right back to questions in a second. We actually have Michelle Bollinger with us, and I invited her to this meeting. She's the new director of career and professional development, and there she is. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself real quick. And I don't know if anyone here from Campus Rec wants to give it up. Basically, the two notes I had for the rest of student affairs after we asked questions, I didn't know if Michelle was here yet or not. Campus Rec Fitness Center is open. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Jeremy. Also, be sure to follow the Discord and YouTube pages. And for CPD, I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Thank you so much. I apologize. Yeah, I didn't want to come on camera as y'all were doing business. So as Garrett said, my name is Michelle Bollinger. I'm the new director of career and professional development. I am very excited to be here. I say it like that because I'm still in Columbia, Missouri, and I will make the move to Texas with my family at the end of this month. So I'm very excited to come to Texas. I think, one familiar face, Kirsten. I believe that you were in my interview. Hello. So I just wanted to pop on. I'm going to give my information to Garrett so that he can share it with you after this meeting. My personal email address at work, as well as the CPD email address if you don't have that already. And I just wanted to encourage you to email, reach out. I love meeting with students. I love meeting new people. So we're here to help you develop and grow as professionals. So anything that we can do to help you on that front. Continue to look at Handshake. We will have 2 points I wanted to point it out. We have 2 student positions available in our office, and those are going to be federal work study positions. We have 1 position that will be working, both of those positions will fall under me in my position. We'll have 1 student working with a peer-to-peer relationship on resume reviews. So if you're interested in working in that nature, and we'll also have someone who we'd like to recruit to do digital marketing. Somebody that's good with obviously digital and marketing, but also with cameras. So if you enjoy taking photographs, if you're good at that, that's the other type of position that we're looking for as well. And then the last thing is the biggest. Our internship and career fair is Tuesday, October 6th. It is virtual this year. Please, please, please come. This is going to be brand new. And so we're all just kind of waiting to see how this goes, but I believe that it will be very good. We're working on getting employers in right now, and so we would love to have your participation. Okay, so if you have any questions about anything, again, I'm going to give my information to Garrett. Please feel free to reach out to me directly, and I look forward to working with all of you very soon. All right.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
All right. So back to questions.
Yes, I think someone was asking a question in the midst of everything.
No, I was just going to introduce myself. My name is Marcel Vandroff, and I'm the new student liaison for Phi Alpha. This is my first meeting with y'all, so I'm trying to get a feel for everything and go from there pretty much. That's about it.
Awesome. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
And Phi Alpha is always busy. I'm always getting emails like, hey, got another event coming up. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay? All right. I'm Mariah Arroyo. I am the Vice President of Phi Alpha and then the President of SASW, and this is my first meeting. So it'll be interesting to see you guys' faces moving forward.
Happy to have you.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Hi, my name's Adam Morrell. I'm the Student Affairs Liaison for the ROTC Club. So I'll be hanging around here quite a bit. Seems like nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the president of the science club for this year. We are looking for a vice president and a treasurer. So if you're a biology major and are here, or minor, and you're interested, come to our next meeting.
Thank you, Jessica.
Is that everyone? I know.
I'm not really the president of anything, but I'll go ahead and speak for the Blue Coats. Hi, my name is Kristen Martinez. I'm a Blue Coat on campus, and I'm also a tutor for the Writing Center. For those of you guys who don't know, the Blue Coats work under student civic engagement and like student affairs. You know, we do so many things that I don't really know what to say that we do. We do tours for the school. We help out where we're needed, whether it be career professional development, helping with student orgs, helping with Garrett. Yeah, we're just here to serve, and thanks, Kanetta. We're just here to serve our students and our school to the best of our ability. So.
And to piggyback off of her, the boss, Carla. And I'd like to invite everybody to join us for coffee, virtual coffee on Tuesdays. I'm sorry, not virtual, face-to-face coffee on Tuesdays on campus. So we keep it small, but you'll see us walking around. And we are basically, you know, the representation of the university within the campus and in the community too. So if you guys have any type of events that you would like any kind of representation from us, just send us an email at nsp.tamuct.edu and we can partner up. I know we're partnering up with which organization, Amanda, for the drive? Okay, yeah, so we will happily do any of that. Just let us know a little bit ahead of time and we can work something out.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Is that everyone?
No, it's me here. Hello, my name is Claudia. I'm new to Texas A&M. This is my first semester here. I'm interested in the organization and I would like to become one of the senators.
That is actually really great. Just be sure to email us on the SGA email so that we can send you the application so we can get that started.
Yeah, I just sent you an email. I'm not sure if you got it.
I'll check my emails right after this.
Okay, thank you.
I have a quick update / question. Jessica Rivera, I see you're on here. Did you figure out what you needed with Engage? Was there anything else you needed from me this week on that?
I figured it out. Thank you.
Okay.
My membership was pending when I emailed you, but once it got approved, I just went step by step off your slideshow and I'm good to go now.
Cool.
Thank you.
No problem. Adam, I've been in contact with Charles to make sure y'all's funds are organized and situated. So I think I may be waiting on an email from him at this point. I have to go check.
All right, sounds good.
Did we all introduce ourselves? Garrett?
Can.
Of course, Rivera, you
know who you are.
Yeah, I came in and because the email said one time and then there was Carla sent another email with another time. I was like, which one is it? I'm waiting on this one. It's not this one. So yeah, real quick, some of the cadets, I have some of the cadets here. Cadet Rivera, I am the commander, cadet commander in the ROTC program. I'm the vice president of the Student Christian Ministry, and I was parliamentarian of the SJ. I got to check that out with Garrett. So yeah, real quick, I'm not going to take you guys time. I've enjoyed the SJ. It's a really good program. I've enjoyed the other clubs. If you guys want to reach out, I know you guys are interested, and everybody here is interested for the SJ, obviously. This is the whole purpose of this. But if there's other clubs you guys want to reach out, the Christian Ministry has a meeting at after this at 11:30, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can hop on that. I can also send you guys the link. So other than that, hey, welcome everybody new into this program. I hope you guys join the SJ.
Well, since you're here, I'll tell you it's not your fault you couldn't find the link because the very first one that was sent out, GoToMeeting decided to put, I think, an Eastern time or something, and it wasn't even close to when our meeting was. So I got an email from Aaron Hauser, and he's like, hey, is it 10 or 12? Because you got both. I'm like, no, I don't. And I looked, I'm like, yeah, I do. So I had to send out the recap, and then of course my computer locked me out. We had to change links at 10
The
o'clock.
same thing to me.
Glad you made it.
The same thing happened to me on Zoom with the cadets. I put the time in. It was like Eastern time. I was like, oh no, it's like an hour difference.
Okay, is that everyone? I think we've gone through.
No, not everybody.
Now, oh, hey, Frosto, sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, I had a question, so that's why I waited. But now also let me introduce myself. My name is Israel Fausto. I am the current president of the Christian Student Ministry. As Rivera mentioned, we're gonna have also a meeting shortly, so you are invited. Then basically that's it right now. The question I had, Garrett, if we decide to meet on campus, meeting with 10 people or less, who do we contact? Can you remind me to know what room is available?
You would just submit it through Engage, like an event, and I could approve it.
All right. And did you mention something about time or the times that we can meet, or we can meet as many times as we can, or is it limited?
No limit. Hey, I like the more active a group is, the better. So whenever you need to meet, just let me know, and as long as it meets all the protocols, we'll get it approved.
All right, now one more thing. Let's say we have, I don't know, 8 people or maybe 10. Can we, in order to have more, if we happen to have more, can we also have the GoToMeeting available in the classrooms?
So you mean like have fewer than 10 people there, but also people zoomed in?
Right.
Yeah, you can hybrid.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, we were doing that for the science club, but with Discord instead.
Yeah. My mom's a teacher at Belton High, and they're doing that for their actual classes, so we can make it work.
Garrett, for the meetings, are they going to be limited to only a certain number of rooms that they'll be able to meet in? You understand what I'm saying? Is there only going to be the certain auditoriums open for those meetings?
Right. If you don't absolutely need an auditorium, I would say don't try to. Not because I would say no, but because that part goes above Paul and me. That goes to Tatiana and the president's office, and that reaches the point where I can't guarantee what will or won't happen. But I do know that when people want to use Bernie Beck or any of the big rooms on campus, it's already tricky when there's not a pandemic going on, and a lot of people want them. It's high demand. From what I've been told right now, it's next to impossible to get. So that's not me saying no, that's just kind of a heads up on, even if you could, it could take a long time to get those approved. But yeah, so that was a long way to say yes, there's a limit. No, I'm not sure exactly how far that limit goes, but if you do have to do something on campus, I can improve and engage, but I also have to submit a form to the president's office. So I don't know what their turnaround rate is, and I don't really know what their current capacity as far as how many rooms are available is.
And the rooms are, whatever rooms are open. It's not like only these rooms in this building are available for student meetings and that's it. It could be any room in any building still.
Last I heard, well, basically the format so far that I know is the same as last year. I mean, it's whatever was available last year would be available this year, except it may be more constricted as just room by room basis. So with that many rooms on campus, I'm not entirely sure. And part of that isn't not because there's not a plan, but because with COVID, plans change a lot. And so when I know, y'all could know.
Okay, any other questions? Anything at all?
I will just throw a quick note in there, Daviana, that I guess just so the whole group knows, the SGA meetings as a whole assembly are every other Friday, not every Friday. So if y'all log on next week and none of us are here, I don't want you to wait for an hour and be alone. And at the next one, we'll vote in any senators who have applied with us and vote on the Constitution and bylaws so we can kind of get started on the legislative process for this year.
Agreed. Once again, I stated if you are interested in any of the SGA positions, please go ahead and email us. All emails are in the chat, so be sure to take those down. And if you are interested, email us. I have nothing else for us today. I'm excited to meet everybody. I see a lot of new faces. I see a few personnels from the ROTC. So excited to see you guys. Yeah, and if there's no more questions, Amanda, you want to say anything? Nope.
No,
Garrett, anything else?
Just get somebody to move to adjourn. I think we're good.
Carla?
Right.
Nope, just welcome aboard and let's have a great fall.
Okay, Amanda, you were saying something?
Yeah. Meeting adjourned.
All
Thank you.
right.
You guys have
Bye,
a good
everyone. Be safe.